Good day, viewers. Welcome to the TIL Legal Tips. Today we are going to discuss another important topic, which is artificial intelligence, commonly known as AI. For this topic, we have an expert with us, Mrs. Sushila Ram Varma.
Thank you, Sakshi. And as usual, you have chosen an excellent topic, artificial intelligence, or better known as AI. In today's day and age, AI runs through our lives like a red line. We hear about it all the time. What is scary is, will this AI replace us human beings?
My first question to you is, what is artificial intelligence?
In simple words, AI emulates the human cognitive abilities such as problem solving, critical thinking, decision making, and empowers machines to make autonomous decisions. Now we would like to understand, how does this affect us in the legal sector? When I say legal sector, I would mean everything, that is the work in the offices, the work in the court, the administrative work that goes on in the court, the actual court proceedings. How is it going to affect us, and will it at any point of time replace us?
Well defined, ma'am. Ma'am, can you please tell us what is the general pros and cons of AI?
Now, I would say the pros would be minimization of human error, risk management, 24/7 availability, automation of repetitive tasks which humans find difficult to do, digital assistance, and most importantly, expedited decision making. But these are the pros. That does not mean that AI will not have some negatives. I would say that the negatives of AI would be extremely costly development, encouraging of laziness in humans, lack of emotional understanding, and therefore everything would become very mechanical, and most importantly, limited creativity depending upon how the programmer has programmed the AI.
My next question to you is, what is the present scenario of AI in the Indian legal system?
I would say that in the realm of law, AI merges computer science and mathematics to enhance legal processes, making it more rational, convenient, and predictable. It facilitates many things such as contract review at a much faster pace, due diligence analysis, email tone recognition, and even aiding in document drafting. Now, despite all the benefits that AI ostensibly provides, there is no doubt that there is going to be a lot of resistance from the legal professional for the introduction of AI at different levels. I personally feel that AI can never replace a lawyer in a courtroom and can never argue a matter which a human mind can do. But it's too early to say whether this will or will not happen. Now, coming to AI, there are many lawyers who are very interested to see as how AI can help us. I, for one, am very much in favor of AI, and I'm encouraging my team to look for good options that we can look at introducing into our firm. But it's not necessary that all of us would be happy about deployment of such legal technology, which will at any given point of time outbeat the human mind. However, computers and robots, I feel, cannot ever replace the human mind. This is mainly because a human mind can think on different levels, whereas a robot or a computer is programmed and cannot think beyond a certain level. Now, coming to the adoption of AI in the legal system, what will happen? Well, to begin with, it will certainly ensure that timelines are reduced when it comes to completing work. But will that be enough? I don't think so. That is because if the people who are working in the legal sector start depending on AI for getting their work done, then where is the originality? Any professional who works in the legal field must be capable of thinking originally, which a machine can never do. So I feel that the fear that legal professionals have of AI replacing them may be a little far fetched at this point of time.
Nicely explained, ma'am. My next question is, what are the advantages of artificial intelligence for law professionals?
Now, coming to ways in which I, as a legal professional, can benefit from AI. The first would probably be due diligence. When we do a due diligence, we have to go through volumes of documents, which is not only a very difficult task but can at times be extremely boring. So, I would say use of AI for doing due diligence would be an excellent opportunity for lawyers who want to replace the computer with the human mind. Similarly, if one looks at research work, I remember when I had started as a lawyer, research meant we had to go through several books to understand what the law said, what the case law said, how do we interpret a particular section, etc. But today I find it very easy. There are so many programs, softwares that help us to do our research within a few minutes, not even hours. So if we introduce AI, I think the answers will be even quicker. But is that enough? I don't think so. Because what will happen is that the legal professional of today will not bother to use his or her brain to understand the complexity of a situation. And in the long run, this can be very, very detrimental. Now, coming to technology prediction. AI powered software systems excel in predicting outcomes for upcoming legal cases. I mean, that is what we have been told. How far that is correct is something that still has to be tested. But if this is a possibility, I think it would be a great way for lawyers to understand how far they can go with their case, whether what is going to be the timeline, the merits, the difficulties, etc. The last I would say, and probably a very important aspect, would be analyzing legal documents. Sometimes when we are doing international matters like an international arbitration, the sheer volume of the paperwork boggles the mind. So in such a case, if we have AI that can cut through the time period for actually understanding the legal documents, it will certainly be a boon for all lawyers.
Moving towards to our next question, what are the challenges of AI under Indian law? I mean to say that can copyright be granted to AI under existing copyright laws in India?
Now, coming to a very important aspect, how is AI protected under the law? Can one get a copyright for an AI? As per the existing laws, I would say no, because the Copyright Act recognizes the original work created by a human mind, and there is no mention of an original work created by a computer system. With the introduction of AI, probably what we need to do is revisit our IPR, that is intellectual property rights, and see how we can protect an AI that has been created by the creator.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, are there any other provisions that more or less deal with AI?
Now, answering Sakshi's query on what is the legal framework that is available for AI. At this point of time, I can say that there is no specialized law for AI. The best we can turn to is the Information Technology Act, which is an act that deals with electronic transactions and digital governance in India. It is the primary legal framework that is currently in force and can be relied on. Apart from this, there is a national e-governance plan that the government of India has come up with, and this plan is geared towards digitally empowering Indian society and government services. With this initiative, AI assumes a crucial role in augmenting the efficiency, accessibility of e-governance. Numerous government departments have signed up for or incorporated AI systems. Apart from this, we have something called the India Digital Personal Data Protection Act, or the DPDPA 2023. This particular act has been discussed in detail in our previous episode, the link of which is given below, and viewers can go to that link to see what the DPDPA says.
My next question to you is related with our previous question. Who are the artificial juristic person?
While the DPDA Act has already been discussed at length in a previous episode, the link of which has been mentioned below, I would still like to dwell upon one particular definition because it concerns artificial intelligence. And this is, what is an artificial juristic person? This has been dealt with in the DPDA Act not once but about 30 times, showing the importance of recognizing AI as a artificial juristic person under the law.
Thank you, ma'am. What is the status of artificial intelligence laws in other countries?
Though today AI is becoming a burning topic and is rapidly gaining recognition across the world, we do not seem to be having any legal framework across the globe which recognizes AI. I would say only a few countries like China, some countries in the European Union, Brazil, etc., are recognizing the importance of artificial intelligence and have tried to set in place a legal framework to determine how or what to do when you are dealing with artificial intelligence.
Thank you so much, ma'am. My next question is, and most probably the last one, what is the status of artificial intelligence laws in India?
I can say that at this point of time, we do not have any specific legislation that governs AI. The Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, also known as MITI, serves as the overseeing authority for all AI related issues. But even in this case, it is mostly relating to punishments for crimes that have been committed with the use of AI. In 2018, the Planning Commission of India introduced the National Strategy on Artificial Intelligence, which is also known as NSAI, which involves the establishment of a panel under the Ministry of Commerce and Department of Artificial Policy and Creation. This panel oversees and regulates the compliance of IP services for AI advancement and introduces a legal framework for data protection, security, and privacy. Another very important aspect that viewers should know about is the Information Technology Intermediary Guidelines and Digital Media Ethics Code, which are the rules of 2021. These cast a responsibility and impose obligations on all social media platforms to exercise due diligence while monitoring content on their platforms. This would be of great importance when it comes to artificial intelligence usage in such social media platforms. One last thing that I would like to bring to the notice of the viewers is the government's initiative. When I say government, I mean the Niti Aayog, that is particularly looking at setting up a platform for artificial intelligence. It has also formulated a policy, which is the Niti Aayog Policy for Artificial Intelligence, better known as NSAI, which emphasizes on the use of AI in key public sector areas. Considering the importance given to artificial intelligence, not only by the government of India, but also its citizens, it's just a matter of time before we have a special law for artificial intelligence. It is only then that we will be clear on the guidelines for operating AI, on what are our rights if an AI misuses the information that we have, or if any crime is committed by AI. Dear viewers, if you have seen this video, I would like you to understand that although I am the spokesperson, it is my team that does all the hard work, and I would like to show my appreciation to them for sourcing out very important and relevant topics. If you have liked this video, please like, share and subscribe so that we are encouraged to make many more such videos which are in the interest of the common man. Thank you and Namaste.